Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Malo on Football, Tuesday afternoon. Yeah, man, Malo on Football, just a platform, man, where I give my thoughts and my views on everything that's going on in the beautiful game of football, man, whether it's locally or internationally. So here we go. Kylian Mbappe, PSG, the situation. 1 year left on his current contract. So for me, from a business point of view, you cash in on him now to avoid Kylian Mbappe leaving on a free at the end of next season. The dilemma, though, is that it seems that Kylian Mbappe wants to leave. He had an issue with Real Madrid. He was flirting with Real Madrid for the past 2-3 seasons. They obviously wanted him. He was meant to sign. The president of Real Madrid, very disappointed that he didn't join them last season. Now the season is over. A new season is about to begin. So it's a very tricky situation that Mbappe finds himself in. For me, Real Madrid is obviously an option, but given the history and what happened with the president and the club, is Real Madrid, I mean, obviously Real Madrid is still a fantastic proposition, probably the best football club in the world, definitely in Europe. But for me, and I've always said this, if you want to play in the best league in the world, you have to come to the Premier League. So let's unpack the Premier League. Potential suitors. Manchester City were obviously in for him when Real Madrid were in for him, but now just after having signed Haaland, winning the treble, do they need a Kylian Mbappe? Are they willing to fork out 200 million? That's probably his market value. A lot of people saying between 180 million to get Kylian Mbappe. I don't know. I do not know if Manchester City, of course they can afford it. After taking out so much money on their number 9, Haaland, yes, they could potentially play Mbappe out wide. We know, obviously, with Mahrez potentially leaving, they've lost key players, obviously, from a midfield point of view, Gundogan and the like. So potentially, I mean, that, on paper would be the obvious move, is obviously Manchester City putting in a bid. I mean, if they got Kylian Mbappe, they would literally be untouchable. My club, obviously Arsenal, now rumors are having it that, Arsenal is being considered. No, don't jump the gun. I'm not saying that Kylian Mbappe wants to join Arsenal, but he actually released a statement that if he was wanting to play in England, Arsenal would be his preferred club. But obviously looking at the fact that Arsenal have just spent £200 million themselves on 3 players, it's not going to happen this season. Any potential deal for Kylian Mbappe. But if you look at Arsenal being at the moment currently the second best team in England, playing in the Champions League, why aren't they suited for the likes of Kylian Mbappe? I mean, Thierry Henry, legend of the club, Mbappe, French, that's his idol when he was growing up. Him, Ronaldo and Zidane were Mbappe's idol. So Arsenal potentially could be somewhere where he would consider. But there's so much around this deal because the timing becomes critical. When does he make the move? PSG are not going to want to release him on a free, but they might not have a choice because I don't know who has 200 million pounds right now who's intending on signing Mbappe. That's the thing. So many of their clubs, you talk about Arsenal, you talk about other teams, have already done their business early, and Mbappe seemed to be available. But now, with the back and forth, and now PSG looking at it and saying, we can offer him a new contract now, but it looks like he does not want to stay at the club after the year, which is the end of next season. So it's going to be really interesting within the next month or so what happens with the Kylian Mbappe issue. But for me, whatever goes on between PSG and Mbappe himself, for me, he needs to play in the Premier League. If you really want to take your career to the next level, in my opinion, he needs to come to the Premier League and prove himself further at that level. Yes, he's won the World Cup. We know he's probably top 3 best players in the world. So, he's ticked all of those boxes. But the Premier League is the best league in the world, biggest from a revenue point of view, from a football point of view, sponsorship point of view. So everything is there for him in the Premier League. Yes, obviously Real Madrid is a lot of players, boyhood clubs. Every single person wants to don that white jersey, pure white jersey of Real Madrid. We all love it. It's a fantastic club. Santiago Bernabeu, absolutely brilliant stadium. So yeah, man, those are my views. For me, potentially he should consider the English Premiership, Premier League, no better league than in the world. Outside of that, it would have to then be Real Madrid. Realistically, Real Madrid. But given what happened with Real Madrid and the issues they had, but hey, people can have a glass of wine, smoke a peace pipe, and forgive him because they expected him to come last season and he didn't. He ditched them and remained at PSG. There's claims that he says he's happy, toing and froing, but maybe that's just him trying to buy a little bit more time. But I think for him as an individual, he wouldn't want to go on a free. Players at his level want to command a 200 million, 185 million pounds transfer. A player at that level does not want to go on a free. So yeah, man, it'll be interesting to see your views on Kylian Mbappe and his potential next move. I say Premier League. A lot of people saying Real Madrid. Who knows? Maybe some people will say stay at PSG. Let me know your thoughts. Malo on football. We out.